Hello, and welcome to the Art of Flipping. Today, I want to discuss how to appraise an autographed book, or in more common terms, how to value a book before listing it on eBay, Amazon, Biblio, basically for selling online. The issue that we have to pay particular attention to is the location of the autograph within the book. That turned out to be the golden key to the whole thing. The sample that I'm going to use is a recent find, the Flight Portfolio by Julie Orringer. It is signed, and I'm showing the way I found it in the thrift store, with the pages back behind the flap of the dust jacket, first couple pages, so that immediately what I saw was Julie Orringer's autograph, and where she crosses off her name where it's pre-printed when she signs on the title page. I've confirmed that's her practice by looking at photos of comparables on eBay and Biblio listings. This is a first edition. First printing is when you flip over the title page and go to the verso. You can see that it says first edition. Now you can hopefully see it. And there is not a subsequent printing history in the verso. So it is also a first printing, which I will often refer to as a first edition, first printing. The book is a fictionalized biography of Varian Frey, who, much along the lines of Mr. Schindler or Raoul Wallinger, helped anti-Nazi and Jewish refugees escape Nazi Germany and the Holocaust. His organization saved 2,000 to 4,000 such people, including Marc Chagall, the famous artist. The value of an author-signed book depends highly on the value of the author's signature itself. That's the main variant. That determines most of the value. Some of the value is determined by the popularity of the book and whether or not the subject matter of the book falls within the author's normal genre is often important, although there are exceptions there. The frequency that the author autographs is also very important. There aren't any hard and fast rules that will help somebody, just run Google, how do I value an autographed book, and determine the value of the autograph. I saw something that said it's generally twice the value of a non-autographed, otherwise comparable book, and not even something like that would hold water. The generic hardcover book has a book sales rank or BSR on Amazon of 183,686 in a recent day. That indicates the book is in fairly high demand. The book caught my attention when I found it at a thrift. I found this book at a thrift store that takes every single book and scans them for selling online in, what have they told me, between 3 and 4 different ways that they dispose of the book online. I pulled it off the shelf because it looked attractive. It looked like a fresh book, and it was in a Mylar cover. Somebody had kept care of it. And then I noticed that it said a novel. I was hoping it was nonfiction because I rarely resell fiction, and I rarely read it for personal use. But I thought, I'm holding it. I might as well see if it's autographed. And that's when I turned to the title page and saw Miss Orringer's signature that I've shown you. The prices on the novels tend to collapse pretty quickly, or in other words, tanked. Lots of listings. This one has something like 111 generic hardcovers versions listed on Amazon, beginning at less than $2 and very good, and starting at something like $6.10 for a new version. I tried to look this book up to comp an autograph version while I was in the store, and it just wasn't coming up. There's a problem with reception at that store that's particularly exacerbated on cloudy or overcast days, and other people experience the same problem. So I emptied my cart, put this book back. They wanted $2 for it, and the comps just didn't show that it was likely to sell for more than $20, $25 unless I wanted to hold it for a very, very long time. I couldn't find the value, I didn't have the value of various locations of the autograph factored in, and I wasn't getting enough search hits to really do it. So when I got home, I decided to run some more comps about that book because I was curious. And I learned a lot about autographs and the importance of the location of the autograph in the book, and that's what I want to share with you in the remaining portion of the video. This copy, as I've said, is a first edition, first printing, autographed on the title page. There is no alphabetical code for any or numeric or number line for any subsequent printings. It's first printing. Amazon lists 14 collectible hardcover copies, 10 of which are signed by the author. The listings on Amazon for first edition, first printings, signed by the author, range from $25 to $75, which I found to be a real broad range, and it kind of was determining whether or not I wanted to pay $2 for the book. Biblio lists 7 editions, first editions, all of which are first printings. 2 of these copies are just in fine condition but are not signed. The prices for those 2 is $10 to $25. So there's a value of an unsigned book, and otherwise very nice. The prices for the 5 remaining books on Biblio varied widely from a low of $28 to a high of $70.25, which after deducting a little bit off that price for free shipping, let's call it $65. I also checked eBay for signed hardcover copies of the Flight Portfolio without specifying the edition, because eBay sellers just don't tend to specify the edition. It's a problem over there on that site. Only 3 of the listings that they had for the book turned out to be a first printing of the first edition, and the prices of these signed books range from $49.95 to $74.95. And the third specimen was $70.25, duplicating the listing I just told you about a second ago. Limiting the eBay comparables to only signed first edition, first printings, came up with a maximum of 18 copies on eBay, Biblio, and Amazon. And I deducted 4 more from the 18 because those were duplicate listings where people were cross-listing their copy of the book. One independent site listed this book as new and unread copy at $68.95. So the number of comparables turned out to be 15. The range of prices was the Amazon range, $75 being the high, $25 being the low. But this kind of range appeared on 3 platforms. Biblio pretty much mimicked Amazon within a couple bucks, and eBay pretty much mimicked the high end of the distribution on Amazon. So I got more curious and decided to drill down. Condition wasn't explaining it. Just about everybody is listing their book as fine or like new. I don't know if that's grade inflation or if that's what they happen to have, but that was uniform across the listings. This book, I would say, is near fine, but I would not. It's been read. It has a little looseness from that, and there's a little bit of wear, a tiny amount at the top and bottom of the spine on the dust jacket. So I decided to drill deeper and learn lessons and find out why a price for roughly the same thing could vary between $75 and $25. As I read the listings, I noticed that they were describing tip-in pages, the signature being on fly pages or FFEP, or on the title page. So I began to separate those out, and I began to explore what tip-in page meant, because I don't think I'd ever heard of it or really thought about it much when I'd seen it references to it. Some publishers have authors autograph book plates. This one does not. It's Knopf. Knopf instead used tip-in pages on 3 of the examples that were up for sale. And the difference between a book plate, a tip-in page, a signature anywhere else in the book other than the title page, or a signature on the title page, that's the hierarchy going from low to high for the value of an author-signed book. I thought that the book plates, while I mentioned it a second ago, are worth very little compared to even a tip-in page or a signature on the book itself. And if somebody attaches or glues the author-signed book plate to the book, that generally means the book renders the book as being less than if the book plate had just been left loose to begin with. A tip-in page, the thing that was new to me, is signed by the author. It's inserted into the book either during or after the binding. The use of the tip-in has greatly expanded the number of signed titles that are available to collectors, as tip-in page signing is a much more effective way of producing signed books. It's a nicer substitute for a book plate. The tip-in page values that I found were $25, $28 on Amazon and Biblio respectively, and $65. I believe that $65 is an outlier in a tip-in page book. It's probably $25 to $30 depending on if it's in very good or fine condition. Those prices seem to be accurate given their order in the hierarchy. I don't know how somebody came up with a tip-in page being worth $65 for that example of the book. The signatures other than on the title page are a step up, and according to what I've read about the hierarchy of books, and that's reflected in the prices. I found $39.98, let's call it $40, for like new, signed on the front fly-in page, FFEP, or one signed on the page after the first blank page after the FFEP for $45. So let's call a book signed on the FFEP or the blank page that follows that $40 to $45. And that would be a step up of about $15 to $20 over a tip-in page. That made sense. Then the listings for the books that are signed on the title page are all over the map. I found that the prices start, and all of them are showing like new or fine, which is more of a bookseller's expression for like new. $40 being $39.95, $44.95, $45, $49.95. I would call that the first clump in the bimodal distribution. Then a private seller came in at $68.95. There's a $69.95, a $70.25, and a $75. So that's the second clump. There's 4 books in the first clump at $40 to $50, and there's 4 books in the $69 to $75 range. So considering that the book has been on the market a while, it's not the newest and shiniest thing, and has a little bit of wear to it, I'll take the conservative approach, take the clump that's $40 to $50 for a similar book, and price this book listed at $35 plus shipping. If you've enjoyed this channel or this video or feel you've benefited from it, please like and subscribe, and we'll see where this channel heads. I will soon be doing a video about the various ways that authors' signatures can be produced into a book. Auto pens, wet signatures, things like that, and how that affects the value and how they should be properly described. So hang in there, please, and let's see where the channel heads. Thank you.